Hi folks, welcome to Weld.com. I have a new machine in. It's a Everlast PowerArc 161 STH. Today I want to run some stick. I want to run 60-10 in an open, I'll say open, outside corners, kind of a poor man's bevel. I have a whisper of gap in this, and my attempt is to see how the stick side runs. I just want to run a root pass in here, try to achieve 100% penetration on the back side, and cover it with one pass of 3/32 70-18. I'm looking for arc features. I'm looking to see how the machine's going to react and run, how I can dig, and what I feel with the electrode. So we're going to do our first run here on 1/8 inch 60-10 on an outside corner joint. Right now I'm set to the TIG mode, 100 amps. I'll change that over to stick. I like 85 amps for this particular application. This machine has a capability of 60-10 or taking it off for all other electrodes. We also have a hot start, an arc force. I'm not going to play with any of that right now. All right, that was our first run. We ran a root pass in an outside corner joint. It had just a little bit of gap in it, and we got what we wanted to get here as far as 100% penetration. I've run a lot of these little machines, the little inverter machines, and they, for whatever reason, didn't like to run 60-10. I personally love running 60-10, 60-11 cellulose rods for tacking, getting penetration, doing fit-ups. So I'm pretty impressed. I like the fact that this is getting through on the backside and I can control it. So I want to clean this bead and run one more pass with 70-18. Okay, I have the top of this cleaned off sufficiently. I just hand wire brush it and hit it with a chipping hammer. I'm going to run some 332 70-18. I'm going to leave it at 85 amps. All I did was take it off of the 60-10 mode. One more pass, we should be done. These are the first rods that I've run on this machine, and I'm pretty impressed with the responsiveness here. Simple setup. We just did kind of a test of an outside corner joint, got 100% root pin, cleaned it off and ran a 70-18. It filled in nicely. I could go back and touch that and finish it off, wire wheel it, be done with it. A couple more things I want to show here. I noticed an anti-stick feature on here, and I'm curious to show that and see what it does. In reading, I believe it will, if the rod sticks, the machine detects it and it defaults to a way lower amperage so that the rod doesn't just sit there and burn up, okay? A couple nice things about that. We can save the rod, and it probably saves on equipment as well. So let's run a little experiment and see what we come up with on that. I'm going to stick an electrode. The anti-stick feature is off right now, so I'm going to show what normally happens, or what should happen, is this thing just decomposes and smokes. Just stuck an electrode because I'm good at it, and the feature was not on, and so what happened was the resistance just built up in the electrode and we went into meltdown. And that's to demonstrate what would happen in a normal condition. Now we have this feature turned on. I'm going to stick another electrode. And by the way, I'm having kind of a hard time sticking these electrodes. This thing, I can cram that 60-10 in there pretty good, and it's like it doesn't want to go out. So I got to get my electrode sticking game on point here. The feature's on. What should happen is, as the electrode's stuck, the machine senses it and it defaults back to a lower amperage. I started this electrode and I actually buried it in the material, and I had a hard time getting it stuck. Testament of the machine, but still, now that we're stuck, I'm sitting here for a long time. I can't see the face of the machine, but I'm sure it's defaulted down to a low amp. By this time, this thing should have been roasting down, and it's not doing anything. I'd be curious enough to take my glove off and touch the rod. Oh gee whiz, I could probably do it barehanded. Okay, warm to the touch. I have my bare hand on here. So I don't know, you know, this is not something that we would do all the time, but things happen, you know. Think about walking away from your machine with an electrode in there and something moved and it stuck to a grounded material and you came back. That's happened in our shop numerous times. So again, just defaults to a real low amperage and it's not smoking. We get to reuse this electrode. This is a 161 STH capable of 160 amps. So let's crank it up all the way and see what happens. I've got a 3/16 7018. Let's turn it up all the way and see what happens. We'll run this bad boy in here. Wow, we put a big old chunk of rod in there and cranked it up to 160 amps. And oh, it labored a little bit, but I mean, gee whiz, I'm thinking projects with a 5/32 7014, 6013, 6010. The stick side of this is pretty impressive, and again, it has that feature in there of anti-stick. I think that's kind of cool. So that's the Everlast 161 STH. Hope you enjoyed this. One other thing, you see me using these all the time. Armor Tool automatic, 10cc. It doesn't matter, you know, I can clamp onto a piece of 1/4 inch material. I can come over here and clamp onto this thick of material or something that's 1 inch or so. It doesn't matter the thickness. Once the pressure is set, it always has the same pressure to it. Whoever came out with these needs a raise. This is a cool tool, okay? Anyway, I hope you found this educational and entertaining. Please subscribe to the channel. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram, and thanks so much for watching Weld.com. I'm going to stick an electrode and leave it stuck without... No, I'm not. Audio, audio, audio. No!